Hello. This video does not qualify anyone to deal with electricity safely. It does not replace the expertise of a certified electrical contractor. This video is just a demonstration. Today I'm going to show how to hook up a keyless light fixture, complete with a switch. So I have 120 volt power coming into this switch box. There's a ground wire, a neutral wire, and a hot wire. I'm going to verify that there's 120 volts with my voltmeter. Take these wire nuts off. From ground to neutral, there is 0 volts. From ground to hot, there's 120 volts. And from neutral to hot, 120 volts. Now before I install the light fixture, I'm going to de-energize the 120 volts. In this case, I just unplug it here. So from ground to hot, 0 volts. From neutral to hot, 0 volts. So I can install the circuit now. I'm using 14.2 NM cable. 14.2 NM cable is rated for 15 amp circuit breakers, not 20 amp circuit breakers. I have to use 12.2 NM cable for 20 amp circuit breakers. But in this case, 14.2 will work. So 120 volts coming in. This is our power. This is our switch leg. Goes from the switch to the light fixture box. First thing I'm going to do is take this ground wire, put a hook in it, and put it on this ground screw here. Now make sure that ground screw is good and tight. And sometimes you have to ground the light fixture itself, but in this case, keyless light fixture does not have anywhere to ground it. There's a silver colored screw and a copper colored screw. So I'm going to take my neutral wire, strip back about 1 inch. I'm going to take switch leg wire, strip it back about 1 inch. I'm going to make a hook on each wire to place under terminal screws. I'm going to put the neutral wire under the silver colored screw. Make sure it's tight. And the switch leg wire will go under the copper screw. You see there's no connection between the hot wire and the neutral wire. That's good, that's what we want. So we can tuck these wires in, screw the fixture to the box. Usually light fixture boxes use 832 screws. So switch leg, power coming in. We have a single pole switch, toggle switch in the off position. ground screw. So we'll ground this switch first. We're going to take our 2 ground wires, put them together, and we're also going to take a pigtail wire. Let's put these 3 wires together and twist them together with a pair of linemans so there's a good solid connection between the 3 wires, and put a wire nut on there. So there's our grounding pigtail. Next I'm going to take the neutral wires I'm also going to twist these together. Make sure there's a good connection, and install the wire nut. Put a hook on our grounding pigtail. Put that on the termination screw. Tighten it. And tuck these ground wires as far back as they will go, so none of this exposed copper will touch anything that will be energized, which would be these 2 termination screws here. You can also tuck in the neutral wires. So we're just left with the hot wire coming from our power source and the switch leg wire going to our light fixture. So put the hot wire on under one of the termination screws. And put the switch leg wire under the other termination screw. And I'm going to take care when I tuck these wires in that this bare copper wire is not touching any of these 2 screws, any metal that might be energized. And switches and receptacles get attached to their boxes with 632 screws. It's in the off position. Put a cover plate on there. And install an LED light bulb. Okay, we're ready to re-energize the circuit. So power's turned back on, flip the light switch to on, and there you go. That's how you install a keyless light fixture.